Gonna try to keep it to as little TMI as possible. Good morning guys, or more good afternoon. It is Wednesday and I just got home from my colonoscopy, so we are going to discuss that. But first, why did I disappear? Well, you'll know that I went back to work on Monday and I edit my videos a day after. So I did do a full video on Sunday where I also showed you how I decorated my tree. So that will be made into a separate video because I decorated my tree and I really want to show you. So that is going to be a thing. Then also I have worked the full week. I had my physiotherapy, I had lunch dates, I had so much planned for this whole week, and then on Friday I got a tummy bug. Like, this 24-hour ones, but still I got a tummy bug. So that whole week was so intense. So when I got home, all I had energy for was YouTube, movies, and my sofa with some stitching. And that's kind of how it's going to be for this week too, most likely, until on Tuesday when we travel and I'm going to do like travel vlogs. Well, I do want to do vlogmas, so I probably will start recording on the 1st, and because the 1st is a Sunday, and then we have the 2nd, which is a work day, and then I have the 3rd, which is when we travel. So I should be able to get content and try to get that out for you, because vlogmas. But yeah, so it's been a very, very intense time. Also, the same day that I did my tree, I colored my hair. So it's about 1.5 weeks old, this coloring, and it's finally kind of evening out and looking good. And this is a big tip, I never done it before. I bought some deep conditioner. Bought some deep conditioner for colored hair. And when I did my hair coloring, the last thing I did was to put in some deep conditioning and put it in for like about 20 minutes and then wash it out. And my hair is so nice. It never has been so nice. It's hardly even frizzy anymore, which is just super cool. But yeah, so my hair is back being pink. But yeah, so one of the reasons also why I haven't had any energy to do any vlogs or editing anything has to do with the colonoscopy that I had today. And I wanted to talk about kind of the process here in Sweden, how it works when you do a colonoscopy. I'm gonna try to keep it to as little TMI as possible, but yeah. So here in Sweden, when you do a colonoscopy, you have about a week of preparations before your colonoscopy. And for me, that week was very complex and problematic, and it has to do with the extreme limited diet that I live under and have lived under for many years. So from a week before and until the colonoscopy, I'm not allowed to have anything with seeds or pips or any kind of anything hard and small that could kind of get stuck in your intestines. And a huge part of my diet is seeds and berries have a lot of those small seeds in the berries. I had to remove all of that out of my diet, which reduces my diet very, very much, because I do use seeds and berries to replace things that I can't eat. So already there, I started going on towards a too limited diet to be healthy. And then from day 5, you start with some medication to kind of loosen up your tummy. And in my case, that medication in me didn't really work. I got dehydrated, but at the same time, I got water retention. You can actually get those things at the same time, because the water retention is water that you can't use. So I got very, very swollen, and water retention, what that does to me is that I get a lot of pain because of the SLE and the connective tissue inflammations and all of those things. I already have joint issues from the cold mostly, so I got like those rheumatical issues sort of, and having water retention and dehydration very much makes that problem so much bigger. So I started having a lot of pain. I didn't have a lot of energy because of the dehydration and because of my lack of nutritions, because together with that medication I had to reduce my cost even more. And the big problem is that the thing they recommend the most is eggs, because eggs will give you all of that nutritions that you need. However, I can't have eggs, which means that my diet went from being not so good to I basically didn't get enough nutritions at all. Even though I had quark, I had some potatoes, sweet potatoes, a little bit of chicken, it still didn't get enough food in me, because I need to have a very specific kind of components and I couldn't eat those. So yeah, I was starting to get malnourished throughout this time also. And at the end of this, the day before, this is what made me, I had to stay home yesterday from work because my body just didn't deal with this at all. I was only allowed to have clear liquids. I found out at the appointment that there is the probiotic drinks that I usually drink when my tummy is upset. I could actually have, I was allowed to have that. And that the papers didn't say that. If I had known that, I would have drunk a couple of liters of that and it probably would have been fine. But what I did get in me was like liquid stock. Got some tea. I couldn't have milk, so I couldn't have my coffee. I was allowed fizzy drinks, so I did have some Coca-Cola, but that's basically what I got, and it wasn't enough. And also I have a very small tummy, so I can only drink so much before it's full and I get very nauseous. So that also is a problem, because when you live on just liquids you have to drink a lot more because you don't get enough nourishment. And yeah, and at the end of the day I had to go through laxatives, and I was actually supposed to have 2 bouts of this, one last evening and one this morning. I did the last evening one. I didn't get enough liquids in me after it, so I was really dehydrated, and that in itself turned into a massive migraine this morning. Second part of it is that the laxatives that I drank, it was a liter of liquid and it was kalium in it, which the SLE that I have, you shouldn't have high amounts of kalium. It's really bad for SLE. It can trigger SLE and can trigger the flares, and I had to have 1 liter of this. Not happy with that. And the second part is that it contained a lot of aspartame. I don't drink sweeteners because sweeteners make my body hurt a lot, so I don't have any kind of artificial sweeteners in my life, and having to drink a whole liter of this, and because my body doesn't like it, the taste is nasty. I can't drink things, I can't eat things with artificial sweeteners because it tastes so bad, because my body knows that you're not supposed to eat this. But I did get the first bout down and I did drink some liquids. But when I woke up this morning, I woke up at 5 because I was supposed to take all of these things, and I just couldn't get, I hardly could drink water because the migraine was so bad. I could sip a couple of sips, and you're supposed to pour yourself a liter of this in like an hour. So no, it didn't work out. I came to the procedure and they're like, you wasn't able to, there's a big chance you won't be able to do this procedure. However, because I hadn't eaten in over 24 hours, I could. So that was good. You do need the laxatives, at least 1 bout of them, but in my case, because I had such a reduced cost throughout the week, and because I wasn't able to get really anything in me the last 24 hours, my tummy was really clean. And I talked to other people who have done this before, and it seems like my tummy was as clean as if I had used that second bout of laxatives. So yeah, not so good morning. The massive migraine meant that it was really hard for me to get myself from our apartment to the hospital, because like every little bump in the road, just massive pain in my head. When I got into the procedure, they bump up the bed, you know, there's like the foot pedal, and it bumps and bumps and bumps. It was the most painful I've done. Oh god. The procedure itself wasn't that bad. One thing was that they did usually they give you sedatives, very mild sedatives. Sweden is extremely, I mean extremely restrictive when it comes to anything of like sedatives or anything. So you get a very mild sedative just to make you a little bit calmer, so that it is a little bit easier to do the procedure. However, they didn't give it to me in the beginning because they wanted to go in and see if they would be able to do this. They were able to do it, so I did get the sedative. I was calm. It was like, yeah, but it's not a problem. I'm pretty calm as a person, but I was a little bit stressed over this because I'd never done the procedure. I didn't know how it would end up being. Nothing, but it worked out pretty fine. You will have gas pains. If you ever had really bad gases and that kind of pain, that pain will exist when you do the procedure. However, I had a nurse that was super good. She helped push down my tummy so that the gases kind of was pushed down a little bit, so I didn't have that much gases in my tummy afterwards either. So yeah, the procedure went fine. Now to what happened. I have one of the nicest colons that she has seen. I have no colon issues at all, which means that all of the problems that led to me going in for a colonoscopy is not in my colon. It is probably either in my upper intestines or in my tummy, either or, because I do have massive problems with my tummy, and I've had for 20 years, something like that. But yeah, so at the end of it, it went well. We now know that there's no danger, nothing, everything went fine. It's good. It's a big thing lifted off from me. It's gonna be much easier to go on vacation and all of those things. So yeah, it's been a exhausting day, but it's gonna be a good day. I'm not gonna vlog for the rest of the day. I'm just gonna sit here, do some cross stitching, maybe try to edit the Christmas video. I don't know, edit this video and get it up anyhow. So I just want to say thank you for watching, and thank you so much for asking about where I went. It's not always possible for me to edit videos, especially when my energy levels are at a half rate and I'm trying to work. So yeah, but it was very nice that you actually did care. But yeah, I am going to do Vlogmas. You are going to get one video every day until the 25th. You're probably gonna get more videos after that. However, I do need to fit it in my schedule, but from the 3rd and onwards I'm basically off. I have one work day. No, I have 3 work days throughout the Christmas period. However, there's no one so gonna be in the office, so I'm gonna work from home, which is gonna be very nice. So I'm gonna be able to do the vlogging and everything all the way to New Year. So sorry for just disappearing on you, but I need to be able to make one of these videos and upload them to communicate with you, because I need a minimum of 1,000 subscribers to get the community feature. Sadly, that's the case, but I kind of like my little group of people, so we will have to have communication. But if you find me on Marika Stitches, you will probably see me update there every day with my cross stitching, and I usually have a little comment about how I feel and what is going on, so you can always find me there. But I'm trying as much as possible to make videos here also, so yeah. But I'm gonna go and edit this video so I get it up for you, and I'm gonna tell you good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite, and I'll see you maybe tomorrow, maybe the 1st. It all depends, because tomorrow I work again and I have physiotherapy, and Friday I work again and have physiotherapy. So there's a big chance that you're gonna see me on Saturday, or the Saturday video, so you will see me on Sunday. I will talk to you on Saturday. But anyhow, I'm hoping you have an awesome day, and I'll see you later. Bye!